In my mind, I put a llama and a goat in the same kind of category because to me they're a novelty thing.
Right.
When I think of a pack animal, I'm thinking horse or mule.
Sure, that's the first thing you think of.
So to think of a llama and then come out of left field with a goat, that really threw me for a loop.
Yeah, there's a ton of information on them, and like I said, I'm not the authority on them by any stretch because I've only been doing it a year. If people are interested in it, the guy to look up on the internet is Mark Warnke. He's been doing it for 6 or 7 years, and he, to watch his goats work on YouTube and stuff, it's just amazing to see what they can do. But he has. I
think I've seen some of his videos, and it was pretty impressive.
Yes, that's when I first started watching all this. I watched a lot of his stuff on YouTube, but his goats are well conditioned, and he does, they're amazing goats, and they were bred to be pack goats.
Yeah, and did you use him to base some of your training program on? How do you even train a goat?
Yeah, they're pretty easy to train. They're very curious, first of all. So they, some people take them and do bottle babies with them. Some people, do a dam raised, where they let the mom raise them and then wean them off. And all the ones I have been pretty much dam raised for the first 8 to 10 weeks. And then I get them, and they're, these guys were a little standoffish, but their natural curiosity draws them to you. And they, when I go down there, I go down almost every evening and just hang out with them for about an hour. And I have a little chair. I set up and sit down, and they just come over and rub up against me and hang out and want to be around me. They tend, if we're in the woods and something spooks them, they will run, instead of running off, they run towards me to protect them.
Well, that's interesting.
It is. And a horse, if you lose a horse up somewhere, it's headed back for the pickup. It's it's not going to run to you. It's going to head down the trail to the trailer. And a goat is not like that.
Your goats kind of see you as the alpha then, right?
Exactly. And that's how you want it to be that way. Yes.
Otherwise what happens? They just try to run over you and not listen to you.
And you have to kind of, when you first take off down the trail, everybody's excited, and if you're on a really wide trail or on the road or something, they'll try to go around you. You try to carry a stick or something to kind of say, hey, keep behind me, stay behind me. But if you're on a single track trail in a timbered area, they'll just follow you right along. They don't, especially after you go a little ways and everybody kind of starts settling down and, you're just moving along. They stay behind me. They don't try to push me out of the way too bad.
So, how many goats do you have in your merry little band?
I have 7 right now. I have 3 that are about 18 months old, and then the other 4 I just got this spring. They're 3 months old.
Oh, so they're still
they're babies.
Green then.
Yeah.
I'm sure you get some very interesting looks from passersby.
Yeah, I've tried. I try when I take them. I've been, for this first little bit here, try to kind of stay off the beaten path. But, I ran into some people this spring, and they had a pack goat at one time and said they were too noisy and too loud, and so they got rid of them. But yeah, it's everybody for sure. You get a few looks when you're walking around with them, that's for sure.
I'm shocked you actually ran into somebody else that had some. That baffles me.
I didn't figure there was probably anybody around here that had them, but there's quite a few people right around here close that have pack goats.
That is so crazy. Yeah. So obviously you said they can't haul as much as a larger animal. Oh, yeah. How much can you reasonably expect your goats to pack out of the woods?
Again, the conditioning will play into that big time. A well-conditioned, pack goat could probably carry between 50, 60 pounds.
Really, per goat?
Yeah. If they're built right and if they're conditioned right, a lot of the guys I watch and have learned from and watch on YouTube and all that stuff pack 50, 60 pounds on them. But that's a well-conditioned goat that's used to being in the woods, that's used to packing and all that stuff. If I can get my guys to carry 30 to 40 pounds when I get them trained, I'm going to be thrilled.
Yeah, so if you got them 40 pounds, that's almost 300 pounds of meat that you could pack out.
Yep.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Yep.
So is your plan to kind of rent your services out for these pack goats, or is this like a personal thing for you?
Well, it might end up being something like that. Zach, I've been thinking about it, and we'll just see what kind of happens. I don't know what'll. The worst thing about pack goats is, and it's not the worst thing, but one of the drawbacks is before you can pack a full load on a pack goat, they need to be 4 years old, because that's when all their growth plates, that's kind of when they're done growing and everything's where it's going to be. So it's going to take another 2 or 3 years before I can really start putting a load on them. So it's time consuming if you start with the little babies from scratch and start working your way up. So it's
but I mean, if you spend that kind of time with them, by the time they get 4 years old, I'd imagine that's a very well trained animal.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And right now they do really good. Just like today, it was a challenge for sure, where they had never been in that kind of stuff before, but they did really well. And I have my what they call the kid trainer pack on my biggest pack goat, Silas. And I just had, I threw 4 bottles of water in it and a couple of candy bars just for, so he probably was carrying 5 pounds or something like that. And, but they did really good. And like I said, hopefully when they get 4 years old, I can get them to where they can carry 30 to 40 pounds. Because I'll never use them as hard as some of the big guys like Mark Warnke and Nathan Putnam is another guy I watch a lot. They use them a lot, and they put a lot of miles on with them. And I just don't foresee myself doing that. But they're fun to hang out with and go in the woods with.
I can't shake the image of you in a line of 7 goats. It's just I can't shake it no matter what I try.
Yeah. If you ever get over this way, you should come out and we'll go on a hike with them.
I would love that. All my experience with goats have been little mean-spirited animals that headbutt you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's just because we used to tease them and they'd get all mad. And then wham, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a ton of fun.
Well, we've been planning on coming down that way anyway.
Yeah.
Just because we like the area.
Sure.
Black Canyon is down in that area, right?
Yep.
That's probably one of my favorite places in Colorado.
Yeah.
So we plan on swinging by there. So I might bring my wife and my 2 savage kids down and let them play with goats.
Yeah, for sure. Let me know. I'd love to have you guys. And if we have time, we can go on a half-a-day hike or something. If not, you can just come out here and, I can show you all everything I got.
Careful what you wish for. You may have a Jenkins clan down there. Cindy, is there anything else that, like a closing comment or something you'd like to add? Or
no, I just appreciate you reaching out to me, and hopefully I gave everybody some useful information. And if you ever want to get together and shoot the breeze again, I'd be more than happy to do so.
I may have to contact you after archery season just to kind of tell you how that went for me.
Yeah, for sure. Let me know. That'd be great.
Yeah. And then for anyone that's going to be listening, what's the name of your taxidermy shop?
Bighorn Taxidermy.
And they can find you on Facebook?
Facebook and Instagram, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Cindy, it was a pleasure talking to you.
You as well, Zach. It was nice to meet you.
I'd like to thank Cindy for spending some time talking to me about her awesome goats. I can't wait to go down and check them out. I'm going to make it my mission to go down there sometime before the end of the year, just because I have to hike on a trail with some goats. It'd be too cool. Also, I'd like to thank T.R. Beery for making the intro music. He's a great musician, my best friend. I couldn't have done it without him. If you'd like to follow 12 Hike on Facebook, just like us on our Facebook page, 12 Hike, and also follow us on Instagram, the 12 Hike Challenge. Please like and share our page. We want to get the podcast spread around as much as possible. It's going really well, gaining a lot of traction, and I hope you guys get to enjoy what I put out there.